Concerns about euthanasia policies at SCAPS continue to worry community members, former employees, and some city council members. Two city council members, Stratton and Michael Cathcart, are trying to enact an ordinance to ensure animals at SCAPS are euthanized only when necessary. But staff at SCAPS say euthanasia is always a last resort. Bronte Sorotsky spoke with those concerned about the no-kill policy, as well as staff at SCAPS about the shelter's policies.
Kirsten, just yesterday, SCAPS put down 14 dogs. The shelter claims these dogs were euthanized because they posed a risk to anyone interested in adopting them, staff at SCAPS, and other dogs. Yet former employees, along with two city council members, say more could have been done to keep those dogs alive.
SCAPS is not a no-kill shelter. It is now a kill shelter.
Outrage over SCAPS' alleged no-kill policy has former employees speaking out against the shelter.
Former volunteers, former employees, we're hearing from veterinarians, probably pretty steady for the last 4 or 5 months on questions related to SCAPS and the euthanasia of animals.
It's led city council members Stratton and Michael Cathcart to propose an ordinance. If enacted, it would ensure the shelter only euthanizes animals when necessary and never for space.
We are steadfast in the euthanasia policy, that we work with other organizations to take some of these animals that are deemed dangerous and build some partnerships. And we don't euthanize those animals just because there's not space for them.
If council finds that the shelter doesn't comply, its contract with the city could end, meaning another agency would need to step in. We took these concerns back to SCAPS. The shelter confirms it did put down 14 animals on Wednesday.
Yesterday, the shelter director made the decision to proceed after a certification by a licensed veterinarian and a behavioral specialist to proceed with euthanization.
But shelter staff say it was the last resort for these dogs, whose behavior posed a threat to staff and potential new owners.
But sometimes it is the most humane option for an animal that is either potentially dangerous or has exhibited dangerous behaviors.
On Sunday, a vigil hosted by upset community members will be held at SCAPS for those 14 euthanized dogs. Live in studio, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.